Ethan Reed was the kind of kid who blended into the background so well, even the school walls seemed to forget he existed. He was thin, awkward, and his glasses were so thick they could probably start a fire if he stood in the sun too long. His voice had a habit of cracking at the worst possible moments, and his best friend wasn't a person, but his laptop a dented, sticker-covered machine he affectionately called Luna. Every single day at Crestwood, I felt like walking onto a battlefield. The Jocks, led by the towering and endlessly confident Jake Turner, had made Ethan their favorite target. It was a daily routine. They'd knock his books to the floor, mockingly call him Wi-Fi, and one time they even locked him in a janitor's closet with a sign taped to the door that read tech support, free repairs. Ethan would laugh it off, at least on the outside. But every night, when he got home, the laughter faded. He'd stare into the soft glow of his computer screen and wonder why the world seemed built for everyone except him. His parents would tell him it would get better. His teachers would advise him to just ignore it. But ignoring pain doesn't make it disappear, it just buries it deeper, letting it grow in the dark. Then came asterisk the day asterisk. It started just like any other, a pop quiz in math. Spilled lunch all over his tray, and another round of the usual insults. But this time, something was different. This time, Jake went too far. During lunch, he snatched Ethan's laptop, holding it high above his head like a trophy. "Let's see what our little nerd's been hiding," Jake announced to the crowded cafeteria, his love. Letters to Wi-Fi, the laughter that followed echoed like thunder. And something inside Ethan just snapped. In that moment, he didn't see Jake anymore. He saw every cruel word, every shove, every single night he had felt small and insignificant. His hand started to shake, but for the first time, his voice didn't give it back. "Jake," the entire cafeteria fell silent. No one had ever heard Ethan talk like that, not with that tone, that edge. Jake just smirked, casually tossing the laptop into the air and catching it. Or what? He taunted. "You'll code me to death?" What happened next? Nobody could have predicted. Ethan lunged. It wasn't a move of strength, but of pure, desperate speed. He caught the laptop midair, but his momentum carried him forward, and both he and Jake went crashing into a nearby lunch table. Food flew everywhere. The crowd gasped, then erupted into a roar of shock and excitement. Ethan scrambled to his feet, covered in mashed potatoes, his eyes blazing with a fire no one had ever seen before. "You think you're better because you can hurt people?" he shouted, his voice ringing with newfound power. "You're just scared. Scared of someone who won't play your stupid game anymore." Jake froze. For the first time in his life, he was the one who didn't know what to say. Ethan, clutching Luna to his chest, turned and walked out of the cafeteria, his heart pounding like a drum against his ribs. It didn't feel like a victory in a fight. It felt like liberation. He realized, in that one powerful moment, that he didn't have to be invisible anymore. He had a voice. The weeks that followed were pure chaos. Teachers got involved. Rumors spread like wildfire. But something had fundamentally changed. Ethan wasn't that nerd anymore. Now he was asterisk the guy who stood up to Jake Turner. Asterisk some students whispered about him in the halls. Others would clap him on the back as he passed. But Ethan didn't care about the sudden fame. He just wanted peace. Jake tried to act tough, to maintain his cool facade, but the power dynamic had shifted. The control he held over Ethan was gone, shattered on the floor of the cafeteria. And without that power, even Jake started to change. One day, after class, he walked up to Ethan, looking awkward and quiet for once. "Hey," he mumbled, scratching the back of his neck. "About that day." "I was a jerk." A small smile touched Ethan's lips. "You were," he agreed. "But I get it. Everyone's fighting something." And from that simple, honest exchange, an unexpected friendship began to form. It was rocky at first, full of awkward silences and hesitant conversations. But it was real. Ethan even found himself helping Jake pass computer science, explaining code in a way that finally made sense. By senior year, Ethan wasn't hiding behind his laptop anymore. He had joined the robotics team, made a whole new group of friends, and was even chosen to give a speech at graduation. As he stood at the podium, his voice was clear and steady. "Sometimes he told the crowd. Standing up isn't about fighting others, it's about fighting the part of you that believes you can't. The entire hall erupted in cheers. And in the front row, the first person to stand up and clap was Jake Turner. Ethan Reed left Crestwood High that day not as a nerd, not as a victim, but as a young man who had found strength in his scars. And when he looked back one last time at the school gates, he didn't see a battlefield anymore. He saw the place where he learned to become unbreakable. Thank you so much for watching this story. If it resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that inspires and empowers. We'll see you in the next one.